girls, welcome back to Lavendaire. Today we're gonna have an epic New Year planning session. So we are gonna plan all of our 2022 goals today, and all of the prompts are based off of the 2022 Artist of Life workbook. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out here and down below on my shop. Basically, if you have the workbook, then this is your chance to crack it open and plan along with me. If you don't have the workbook, that's totally okay. That's why I'm here sharing the prompts for free, so you can use any notebook, physical or digital. I just want all of us to be prepared for the new year, and I love New Year planning, so here we go. I also want to mention that this is the second video in our New Year planning series. The first video I posted a few days ago. That one is on reflecting on 2021. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you watch that and then you can do this video. The reason why is it's always important to reflect before you start planning. So I'll leave the link there and down below. Also, I'll be kickstarting a 10-day New Year challenge on Instagram and TikTok starting tomorrow, Monday, December 27th, and it will last until January 5th. So you can follow along on either Instagram or TikTok at Lavendaire to join the challenge. Lastly, make sure you subscribe to this channel and you click that bell to get notified of all the New Year videos coming up. All right, let's get started. First, decide on a theme for 2022. So your yearly theme is your intention for the entire year, and your intention is essentially your guiding light. It is your compass to guide you through all the decisions that you will make throughout the year and remind you of what you want to focus on. So I mentioned that it's really important to reflect first before you start planning for the new year, because after you reflect, then you might realize, okay, I've been neglecting this area, or okay, I want to invite more of this energy into my life. And that is where your theme or intention comes in. It's okay if you can't figure out your theme right away. Feel free to take your time, and you can also change your theme anytime in the future. But if you do have a 2022 theme, comment down below with what it is. Next prompt, how do I want to grow in 2022? Think of the ways that you want to grow into a better version of yourself in 2022. A helpful way to kind of visualize this exercise is to imagine who you want to be ideally at the end of the year, at the end of 2022, and that will give your answer to how you want to grow this year. The next prompt, what do I want to release in 2022? Letting go and releasing is just as important as growing and building upon. So think of all the negative habits or mindsets, limiting beliefs, or just anything that you do not want to bring in to 2022. What does not serve you? What are you still holding on to? What can you let go of that will allow for you to grow into a brighter, better version of yourself? To give you some examples, maybe you want to release caring about what other people think. Or maybe you want to release your bad habit of picking up your phone in the morning, of scrolling Instagram or TikTok for way too long. There are a lot of things that we would happily release and let go of from our lives, so here's your chance to reflect. Moving on, let's set our 2022 goals. So the way the workbook is structured is there's a section on setting your goals for 2022, and it basically gets really detailed, where I ask you to consider your goals in all the different areas of your life, like your health goals, career goals, personal growth, and all these different areas. And the reason why I like to do that is that we often forget about thinking about all the areas of our life, and so we only set goals on what's like top of mind. So for this part, I am going to share all the different sections of goals, and I'm going to share some questions that might inspire you to add more goals in there. But I also want to note that you don't have to set goals in every single one of these areas. I just share it to kind of spark some inspiration or reminder if you want to set a goal in that area. So again, you don't have to answer all of these questions if you don't want to. What's most important is just knowing what your main goals are for 2022, but I'm just sharing these to help you get clear and just clarify your goals as much as possible. First, let's consider our health goals for 2022. So do you have any goals for your health? Do you have any health habits that you want to add to your routine? What about your health do you want to change? Next, let's think about our relationships. So what kind of relationships do you want to build in 2022? What can you do to create deeper or more fulfilling relationships than you already have? Next, what are your career goals for 2022? If you're still in school, you can change this to school goals, whatever works for you. Next, do you have any personal growth goals for the year? So this could be, what do you want to learn this year? Maybe what books you want to read this year, or topics that you want to get more educated on. Next, let's look at our money goals. So how much money do you want to make in 2022 and why do you want to make that much money? How much money do you want to save this year and why? You can also consider how much money do you want to invest in yourself or in your growth. After that, we have home goals. So do you have any goals for your home? How do you want your home to feel? And then consider what areas don't feel like that and maybe set some goals on how you can improve those areas. This could be as simple as cleaning up a really messy desk or maybe renovating, redecorating a room. We often overlook the home, and I feel like most people wouldn't set home goals normally, but remember that your home is your environment and your environment is connected to the way you feel and the way you can thrive in life. Next, do you have any creative goals for this year? So is there anything that you want to create, or are there any creative activities that you want to try this year? Last but not least, any spiritual goals that you might have. So consider what kind of things make you come alive? What kind of things makes you feel like your soul is fulfilled? So make it a point to recognize those things and then plan to do more of those things in 2022. Now, after reflecting on all the goals or thoughts that you might have jotted down for all of those areas of life, what are your main goals for 2022? So when you're setting your main goals, the most important thing is to prioritize. You might be a person that comes up with a list of like 10 or 20 goals for your main goals for 2022, but I recommend you maybe choose your top 3, and those will be your 3 main goals to focus on this year. The final prompt I'll share today is to outline your year at a glance. So what I mean by year at a glance is kind of map out all the months in 2022, and then you can start to plan like how you're going to achieve your goals throughout the year. So this is helpful because usually we set goals and then we really don't think about the plan or the big picture plan of how to achieve them. So this is the first step. It's just kind of outlining, okay, how long will it take for me to achieve this goal? Is this a 1-month goal? Is this a 10-month goal? This might also be helpful if you already might have an idea of what you have planned for 2022. Say you're in school and you already know like your school dates, or if you have projects already planned for next year, travel or weddings already planned for next year. So this is a good opportunity for you to map out like what the year looks like, what's gonna happen, and maybe you might notice, okay, this month is really busy in August, and so I shouldn't plan to achieve my goal in August. I should maybe like move things around. So the first step to realizing your goals this year is to map out when you actually plan to start those goals or when you plan to accomplish those goals, and do it on a big picture scale. In our upcoming videos and our monthly planning series that we also do on this channel, that is where you're going to take your big goals and break them down by the quarter and then by the month and then also by the week. That's literally what this workbook is about. Everything is kind of like top down. We start by planning the very big picture, ideas and goals, and then we kind of break it down to plan in reality, how are we gonna execute this? So if you wanna continue realizing and executing your goals, feel free to pick up the Artist of Life workbook on my shop and or follow along our planning series on this channel. I'm gonna be posting the January plan with me this Wednesday. So if you wanna plan your January, you can come back for that video. And I typically post these plan with me videos at the end of each month before the new month begins. So I recommend you hit that bell or you check back at the end of each month on this channel, and we'll just be planning throughout the year. I will leave it at that for today. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful new year in 2022. Bye.